Hey, what's up, you guys? We are just going to wait just about a minute or two before some of you guys are on live as well. If you guys have any questions about metabolism, please just write them in the comments once you guys are coming in. I'll just kind of go through a few things for today. So I just want to just kind of give you guys metabolism. Well, thank you guys, one, for actually commenting on our post. It sounds like metabolism is something that you guys are really focused in on, or you guys want some more information on. So we'll be kind of taking a dive into it. We'll be 100% accurate to you individually, no, but at least to give you guys a really good idea of how you guys can start revving it up, kind of rebuilding, restoring your guys' metabolism, and actually start taking action into it. And if you guys do have questions, like I said, just do comment below. I'll wait about another minute or so, and then I'll just start touching on topics that or questions that you guys have had that I've seen in the past, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So if you guys have any questions, just please comment them in the comments page, and then we will get you guys started. Okay, so I just want to kind of briefly go over the discussion today. So the topic was metabolism and kind of how does that work? How does that function? It's a term that gets thrown around quite a bit in the weight loss kind of category, fitness, health, things like that. So, just kind of breaking down, metabolism in itself is just very vaguely is it just providing your body with energy for essential bodily functions just to properly digest some of the foods you guys are taking in. So with metabolism, there's a lot of factors that come into metabolism. It's one, your age, could be sex, gender, muscle mass, and BMR, or just anything that you guys have genetically too that could also disrupt kind of your metabolism. So just kind of a little background with metabolism. I'll see if we have so many comments as well. So just kind of diving into it just a little bit. So there's a lot of questions with metabolism and what can I start doing now to at least start improving it where it's at. So I'll start with the biggest thing that I've always seen to help a lot of people, and it's just consistently eating the right amount of protein every day. That's gonna be different for everybody, but just kind of a good rule of thumb when it comes to your protein intake should be women about a palm size of protein, maybe a little bit more if you guys are just avidly working out, 5, 6 days a week. Those for you guys that are men, we want 1 to 2 palms, and that's gonna vary, same thing, activity level, height, size. I mean, if you're 6'4", it's gonna be different. We want 2 palms. If you're 160 pounds, maybe it's anywhere from a palm to a palm and a half of protein. And why is that so powerful to boost metabolism? Well, the first thing is in the North American diet, we just really undereat protein. It's facts. We overconsume carbohydrates and fats and sugars and sweets. So we want to make sure that you guys are eating protein. And what we found in the programs that we're working with now and in the past is a lot of people undereat that side. So if you can start doing that, you're going to increase your protein intake, which is going to help in a lot of ways. It's going to, boost your metabolism because protein takes a little bit longer and it's a little bit harder to digest. So it's going to burn more calories to do that. But second thing, which is really cool, is if you guys feel hungry throughout the day or you guys feel really hungry at night, if you guys increase your protein intake, you guys will not feel as starving or having like those food cravings in between meals. But then also when you get to the end of the night that you don't have those cravings as well, but it'll actually satisfy you guys from meal to meal. So if you have a good balanced breakfast with protein intake, it should get you guys all the way through lunchtime. And then from lunchtime to dinner, you kind of see what I'm saying with protein intake. Another good rule of thumb there is if you just struggle with it, where you guys have a really active job, I don't have one in front of me, but I've always enjoyed just having a protein shake. I know it's one of those things where all the bodybuilders take it. Well, that's kind of false reality. It's not going to get you guys big and bulky. Like I said, it's a quick fix to get you guys protein intake up, get your calorie intake up as well, and then just make sure you guys are on track. So protein is really, really, really big when it comes to metabolism. The second thing is hydration. So just a few things with hydration. If I know a lot of you guys are drinking fluids and waters because it's really hot out if you guys are in the Midwest. So we want to make sure that you guys are drinking half your body weight in ounces of water. So it's a good rule of thumb. One, if you can stay hydrated, helps everything digest properly, helps your cells function properly and increases that metabolism, at least turnover. So that's really great there. Those of you guys that are actually really avid exerciser, especially in this heat, apologize, you actually want to add 12 ounces of water for every 30 minutes of working out. So if you guys are working out in extreme heats, or your gym's inside or your gym's outside and there's no fans or air conditioning, add 12 ounces of water for every 30 minutes you guys exercise. And I'm talking like full exercise, not, hey, I'm coming in and I'm stretching my arms and that's accompanying in my hours worth of workouts. No, just exercise time. If it's 30 minutes, then add 12 more ounces. And the reason why is because your body's going to sweat that out naturally through the workout, but then after you guys get done with the workout as well. So that's kind of the hydration side. Any questions on either one of those, protein or hydration? You guys, like I said, feel free to comment in the comments below. If not, like I said, we'll just kind of keep chugging along with just a few things that you guys can start knocking out of the park. Those of you guys that have questions on, hey, how do I increase my water intake right now? Well, establish a baseline. What are you guys coming in at? Are you guys coming in where you're only drinking 30 ounces? Well, setting that unrealistic goal of half your body weight, it's gonna be really hard. You're gonna be peeing a lot and it's gonna be really hard to process all the time. So if you're only drinking 30 ounces per day, maybe if you can add 10 or 15 per week, that would be awesome. Just to really acclimate your body to consuming that amount of ounces of water, so you're not just kind of peeing a lot throughout the day. So hydration side, and then the next thing is kind of with your workouts. So this one's huge, right? Like this is everybody's crux is what should I be doing for workouts to boost my metabolism? And the first answer that always comes to mind is going to be some sort of resistance training when it comes to weights. Now, it doesn't have to be your Olympic lifts or your powerlifting or your functional fitness. It could be a variety of all those, but that's really going to help you guys. Now, muscle mass, more you guys have of it, it's going to help burn calories, which in turn burns body fat. And so, and one thing to look at too with that resistance training is just because you're lifting weights, you're not going to look like Arnold, as far as size of your muscles go. One, performance enhancing, but also takes a lot of time and dedication and years of practice with getting that size. So when you guys get into weight training, it's good for your joints, your muscles, your bones. And like I said, it also helps with if you guys are trying to lose weight, or if you guys are just trying to just make sure you're strong enough to play with your kids, right? You can't pick up the dog food, which was really big for me when I went to the store. I tried to pick up dog food and I couldn't. I said, yeah, I need to reshape how I'm approaching my my exercise routine. So lifting weights is really important for you guys. Also, just some more metabolic trainings as well. So something that is more circuit driven, that's going to keep you guys in an elevated heart rate for extended period of time, and then having some rest built in. I love those type of workouts because it's going to just boost your heart rate. But, and I made a post about this maybe a week ago or so, we call it the afterburn. So there's a time and stage after your workout where your calorie burn is really high, probably for the next few hours or a day, just kind of depends. But what ends up happening is after your workout, you start burning calories at a higher rate because elevation of your metabolism is higher. So hopefully that makes sense. Is the more intensity you guys have, not all the time, but just relative, it's going to boost your guys' metabolism. So your calorie burn rate is going to be a lot higher throughout the course of the rest of the day. So remember, even though your workout was maybe only 5 minutes, but you did a lot of metabolic training or high heart rate training, you just boosted your metabolic burn, so your calorie burn such a high level that it's going to stay there for a long time. So don't get caught up too much in how long am I working out. It's you're doing the right stuff to work out. In our program, we have a lot of individuals that are working out just 20 minutes a day, and they are crushing a lot of their goals. We have some people that are just lifting and they're crushing their goals. So one size doesn't fit all, but just note that you want to add some metabolic training when you guys are working out, and don't get caught up in how long you're working out, but the fact that you're getting your heart rate up is going to help you guys increase that calorie burn. So hopefully that helps with the workout side. There's a lot with that side, so we can definitely do just a side segment of that if you guys feel like that would really help you guys just kind of level up where you're at. If you guys don't have any equipment to work out, the one thing I tell you is body weight's great, but also just go for a walk. Once you guys start walking, you bring up your thermogenesis as well. Everything's going to kind of boost up, and then we can start burning at a better rate with your guys' metabolism. All right, so I'm going to pause a little bit. So we're having some questions come in on the protein side. Anthony asks, how do I measure how much protein I need daily in terms of how many grams of protein? So with that one, there's a few ways you can do it. So you can definitely do like plate method, hand portions, or you can count macros. I think the easiest thing and remember, we work with a lot of parents, and so it's like it's hard to measure and have like a whole station set up, but the easiest way is just if you were to look at your palm and you put a hamburger patty on it, that's about the size that you want there. And so that's a translation. So if you had a chicken breast, slap a chicken breast on your palm, and then you can hack it off at your fingertips, and that's a good portion size as far as protein goes. If you're looking for ounces, I would say for women, I mean, you could recommend anywhere from 4 to 6, guys anywhere from 4 to 8. It would just be really dependent on a lot of things: your age, how your activity levels, your personal goals, how much weight you need to lose or gain, just to make sure everything's really functional. But we could definitely do, a measurement. We could do some measuring when it comes to your protein to make sure you get accurate amount, which kind of filters into Becky's question of how long should I wait in between meals? Some programs say eat every 2 hours, some say every 6, or is it not that big of a concern? So one thing that we always work with you guys individually on is what works best for you. Like, do you feel comfortable just eating 3 meals a day? Do you feel satisfied at the end of the day? Or is it one of those things where, hey, Justin, I'm really busy and I would rather have, 5 meals throughout the day because it makes me feel good and it makes me feel like I'm progressing from meal to meal without feeling really hungry. So just to kind of answer your question, I know it's kind of vague and kind of gray, but really, if you're going to start anywhere, is just eating every 3 to 4 hours. That's a really good timeline, especially if you're eating the right amount of nutrients when it comes to protein, fats, and carbs, just to get you to that lunchtime, just to get you to dinner, and then justify making it through the rest of the night. But like I said, if that's really hard for you guys to do that, then maybe it's something where you're having 5 meals a day, but they're a little bit smaller portions throughout the time. I'm a big fan of that. That's how I eat because it fits well with my schedule, my time, and my body enjoys that because I have energy throughout the day. And we also work with people that their time's tight and they really like the 3 meals a day. So really just kind of flexible. It's flexibility with what you guys actually like to do. And trial and error. Remember, nutrition isn't one size fit all, and it changes from time to time too. And trial and error, like go into it next week of, hey, we're gonna try eating every 3 to 4 hours for a week. How did that feel? Like, did you feel really satisfied? Did you feel really hungry? And from there, make adjustments. Maybe I have to add one snack in the morning to satisfy me for the rest of the day. So I love the questions because that's a really great question. Same thing with how do I measure how much protein I need daily in terms of grams. I think those are really awesome. So if you guys do have any more questions, please comment them down below, or you can message us in our messenger too. We're about 14 minutes in, so we just briefly touch base on protein, hydration, and a little bit on exercise for metabolism. Now, remember, there's a lot of different tangible things when it comes to your metabolism, but I just wanted to start with the things that I feel is just as a busy parent that you guys can start at least gaining control over and at least start making some progress on. They're only 3, but they play a pretty big role in kind of boosting your metabolism or just kind of getting the things turning a little bit or rebuilding that side of it. So if you guys do have any questions, let's kind of take a short little pause, and then I'll kind of dive back into some more tangible things we can start actively working on. All right, so we talked about protein intake, got to be big. Remember, 1 to 2 palm sizes for guys and girls. Activity level is important. So if you're working out a bunch, and I'm talking like a lot of lifting or maybe doing some high intensity stuff, make sure you guys are adding a little bit more protein to just curb that. And then we just talked about hydration, just making sure that we're drinking half your body weight in ounces of water. And then with that side of it is, if you're going to be working out in temperatures where it's really hot outside, or you have a really manual labor job, just make sure that you guys are adding quite a bit more water intake to it. If you're just on the exercise side, add 12 ounces to every 30 minutes you guys are working out, just to boost that up a little bit as well. And if you guys have issues with water intake, you guys can have a glass for breakfast, a glass for lunch, and a glass for dinner. Start there, just to make sure that you guys are being consistent. We call it habit stacking. So you just have a full glass of water for each of those meals, since you're sitting down anyway. And then workouts, just remember with that side of it is we do want some sort of weight resistance training in there. And we want some sort of metabolic training in there as well, just to make sure that everything is really firing on all cylinders when it comes to your workouts. It is only 10% of your guys, increasing or boosting up your metabolism, but it does play a pretty important role. Okay, so Rick had a question. Can you eat too much protein? Yes, you can. And typically when we start working with individuals when it comes to protein, we just first have to establish a really good baseline. Like, what are you coming in at? Are you coming in only eating 20 grams or only eating 2 eggs throughout the whole day? Well, that's going to be really tough if I start working with you and say, hey, I want you to start increasing this much protein, because your body doesn't know how to react to that and doesn't know how to digest properly. And what ends up happening is it just feels kind of gross, and your body starts feeling not the way that it should. So we like to just kind of gradually build into it, but there is too much of a threshold, and that's kind of the same thing as how much is too much. It really depends on the person, their goals, and what they're trying to strive for. I know it's kind of gray as well, but it truly does. It matters like, hey, age, activity level, personal goals. Is it weight loss? Is it muscle gain? Just to make sure everything is really justified with where you guys want to be at for your guys' lifestyle. So great question on that one too. You can. I would say rule of thumb is probably don't go over your body weight, especially if you guys are trying to lose weight. If you guys are trying to maintain where you guys are at, that's a lot of protein anyway. But really, when it boils down to how much you guys should eat, should really talk to somebody about the breakdown of that, so they can establish a good baseline for you guys. And then they can also establish how you can progressionally get to a level where it satisfies your needs for your daily expenditures, and actually helps you guys get to your goals. So don't just go out there and just start, smashing a bunch of protein. Just make sure you guys establish a good baseline. You're talking to somebody about how can we get from point A to B so it's actually effective and you guys know how to get there safely, opposed to just engulfing your body into a bunch of protein. So great question. I love the protein questions. It's really great. Okay, we got about 2 more minutes left. If you guys have any questions, please comment below with the protein side, or any metabolism questions you guys have. I'll just kind of piggyback off protein. Seems like it's kind of a hot topic right now. So with protein, try to stay towards more of the lean proteins. Chicken's amazing. Like it's a little bit less inflammatory foods. Try to steer towards more grass-fed, organic, something that doesn't have a lot of different type of chemicals or nitrates and things like that inside of it. So those are always great. Some sort of fish or seafood is going to be great for some of those low FOD MAP foods, so low inflammatory foods. And some of you guys that are in the program right now, we really dive into that and make sure that those are staples when it comes to your guys' meals. As well as if you guys are looking for great starches, so if you like potatoes, I always recommend sweet potatoes. I think it's a great source, but also it's going to be a little bit less inflammatory food for you guys as you guys consume it. We're a huge quinoa, however you want to say it. But rice is really good for you guys as well. It's a really great source of nutrients. That way you guys can feel satisfied and not feel like you're getting things taken away from you, which you should never feel like that as you guys are going through your journey. So I'll kind of stop there. Do you guys have any other questions when it comes to metabolism? We'll continue to have these live interactions. So please, just if you guys have questions below, I'll reach it back out to you guys if you guys comment, but also throughout the next week or so, if you guys have questions, please reach out. Be more than happy to help you guys. And each week we'll just kind of dive into more of a specific subject. Metabolism is kind of very broad, but I love that we got to dive into protein, hydration, and then we got to dive into some of the workout side, which is really, really important for you guys too, I know. But with that being said, is next week, we'll take even a deeper dive. We'll do another poll. Hey, what are you guys looking forward to? It sounds like meal planning and scheduling is a really big thing, and I love going through that with you guys. So maybe that's a topic that we touch base on next week. So thank you guys for the comments and asking questions, because I love asking questions. And if I can help you guys make one small change today for the next few months or a couple years, how cool is that? And then you guys can increase your metabolism, start dropping some of the pounds that just kind of been there from some of these questions you guys had, and then start being the best version of your guys' self. I think that's the ultimate. So you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll comment a couple things down below just before you guys start rewatching this video, or if you guys want to share it to a friend, that'd be absolutely fine with me. And we will see you guys either through the group, or we'll see you guys on our next coaching call. Bye.